G'day everyone, it's Doug here from Slug Trails. How you going? Had a few people ask what the cost of the trip to Nepal was. You may have been watching the videos that I've done recently. There's, I think, 11 videos of the trip that I've uploaded. If you haven't watched them, feel free to go and have a look. Just search for Slug Trails Nepal. I'm sure you'll find it. I've got to be honest with you, I'm new to this, and the video quality, I guess, is a little bit poor, but as I keep saying to everyone, as I improve, I'm getting better. I was having problems with cameras, making some amateur mistakes. Yeah, so back to cost. I was surprised. I've just finished an Excel spreadsheet on what the actual cost was for the trip, and I think the result was very, very pleasing. It surprised me it's come in as cheap as what it has, and I don't think there's anyone out there that wouldn't agree with me that this is a bang for buck trip when we look through the figures. So what I've done, I've tried to break it down as simply as I could. The whole trip was 18 days, so at the end of it I break it down to a daily cost averaged out over the 18 days, but we start with the airfares. From Australia, it was a 23-hour journey along through Singapore with a stopover there. And as you can see on the sheet there, the return airfares from Melbourne, Australia to Nepal was $1,335. That's $800 odd in US and £680 in British dollars, pound, whatever you want to call them over there. The next item on the list was the travel insurance, a must-have, and I can't stress that enough. My wife and I had a pretty big accident over in Cambodia 2 years ago, and without travel insurance, my God, we would be in so much financial trouble at the moment. I think the all-up cost to get us home was in the order of 250,000 Australian dollars after the accident. We were pretty banged up, or especially my wife was pretty banged up.
So we're going to do it on the count of three, nice and gently. So we're going to go up and then move it forward. So on three, 1, 2, 3, nice and gentle. Okay, now, do you want to bring her head up a bit, Nick? Yeah.
So do not skimp on travel insurance. Make sure you cover all your bases, and you travelled for the motorbike cover. Double check everything, especially when it comes to travelling above at altitude. I didn't find one single policy that covered travel above 3,000 metres above sea level. I'm sure they're out there because there's plenty of travellers that do those excessive heights, but that would come at an extra premium, I'm sure. So just be very careful, because you do on a trip like this, you do a bit of time above 3,000 metres. So anyway, the travel insurance I thought was very reasonable again. It came in at $205 Australian, which is 123 bucks in American, and £104 for the British people. Visas were pretty straightforward. Must have a visa, obviously. It's all very straightforward, electronic application, and that came in at 96 Australian dollars, and where are we, 57 bucks in the US, and 48 Great British pound. The tour cost, I did a lot of homework on the tour cost. I started the spreadsheet and ended up confusing myself. There's that many different companies out there offering so many different products. It does get quite overwhelming. I started putting together a list of my bucket list things that I wanted to cover off on the trip. And I started going through the different tour companies and what they offered as far as the tour, ticking off those bucket item lists, the costs, the number of days. I had columns and rows for everything. And as I said, there was that many different tour companies and that many different options. It became very confusing. So what I ended up doing was going back to the basic gut feel and Google reviews. The Google reviews are a wonderful way to sort out the good from the bad. What I ended up with was a company that didn't even make it onto my list, my original spreadsheet, which surprised me. So the tour cost, which was all inclusive, it included the motorbike hire, it included the hotel accommodation, your breakfast and dinner every day, your lunch on a few of the days. It included obviously a motorbike. I think I might have said that. It included a mechanic. It included the support vehicle carrying your luggage, so you didn't have to lug anything around during the day apart from the necessities you might need for that particular day. And pretty much everything was covered. The only thing you paid for was your beers at the end of the day, and if you wanted a snack or lunch during the day, you might have to spend a couple of bucks on that. But overall, which we'll get to very shortly, that the spending money was negligible. So anyway, the tour cost for motorbike expeditions, I'm getting nothing out of them, but I can't give them any more praise than to say they were just absolutely brilliant from the very first time of contact right through till the end of the trip. The communication was great. They were upfront about everything. The bikes were amazing. The tour guides, fantastic. So there was a leader guide. There was a guy that with the tail rider who carried a professional photographer. So we have already got a professional video of the trip. There was the mechanic and the driver of the support vehicle. And all in all, they were a great bunch of guys. They knew their stuff and they looked after us really well. So the tour cost, getting back to that, in Australian dollars, $4,500, which for a 12-day tour I thought was very reasonable. You can get them a lot cheaper. You can pay a hell of a lot more, but it's up to you. As I said, couldn't recommend these guys highly enough. US dollars, we're looking at $2,700, and in Great Britain pound, $2,295. Spending money. It is hard to spend money over there. I could have spent a lot less than what I actually did. I bought a few camera accessories because they were cheap over there. Certainly wasn't a tight ass and didn't miss out on anything. I enjoy a drink, so we had a few beers every night. The funny thing was that after a day's riding, pretty much we'd get back to the hotel, straight into a couple of beers, some dinner, maybe one or two more beers after that, and that was it. We were all off to bed, and I very rarely, for a guy that's often up till midnight and later, I very rarely saw 10 o'clock at night. We were that worn out after a great day's ride that we'd hit the sack pretty early. So, as I said, spending money was pretty hard to do, but somehow I managed to spend $2,350, equivalent of $1,410 in the US and nearly £1,200 in Britain. So that was pretty much it. The total cost for the trip for me in Aussie dollars, $846, and in the other currencies that you can see there, just under 5,100 US dollars and 4,327 Great Britain pound. So here's the average daily cost, which, as I said, blew me away for... you got to forgive me here because I did say the trip was 12 days. I stayed some extra days. I was there 2 days early and I stayed an extra 4 days after the tour. So I actually had 18 days in total. So these these figures are averaged out over the 18 days that I was there. I should have told you about that earlier, but as I said, I keep forgetting stuff and I'm getting better as I improve. So the average daily cost for me in Australian dollars was $471, $282 US and 240 Great Britain pound. Bang for buck, seriously. To have a holiday, the holiday that we had for that sort of money, it really is chicken feed. All up cost of $471 a day. It surprised me it came in that cheap. I was thinking I'd spend over $10,000, but when I actually did the numbers, it came in a lot cheaper. So there you go. Nepal, I can't say enough about it. An absolute amazing place. As you can see in the videos, it's just one highlight after another highlight after another highlight. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's like every motorbike ride I've ever done anywhere in the world, all packaged up into one little single 2-week highlight package. A lot of travelling that you do on the motorbike, to get to the good spots, you've got to do a lot of boring hours on the bike. I can tell you there is not one boring bit in Nepal. From the moment you get on in the morning till the time you get back into the hotel at night, it's just action-packed. You come home, you're exhausted, you're exhilarated. Bunch of great blokes we met on the tour. We had the amazing time. Get out there, enjoy it, and get to Nepal.